Alright, I'm back. I had this on the back burner for quite some time, but since I've noticed a lot of newer collectors and reviewers have a renewed collection of the 30th anniversary, I thought it'd be an appropriate time to take it out. It's the Capture the Tantive 4 Battle Pack. Give you a good front view of it here. Here's the back. Feel free to pause and read the write-ups if you wish. I can see why there's a renewed interest in the collection. The figures have pretty good articulation. They come with a lot of accessories. The battle packs actually came with 5 figures. Classic black and white 30th anniversary packaging. I definitely see the renewed interest in the collection. I'm going to start off here with Darth Vader and the interrogation droid. The interrogation droid is an odd accessory. You can use it for other background scenes and such for dioramas, but it was not in this scene. It has no articulation on it. It is a rather good sculpt, though. It came with an earlier exclusive from Toys R Us. I'm not sure. It was some type of Imperial pack, Toys R Us. And it's just a repack. It does have a good stand, a clear stand. You can emulate it floating. And Darth Vader, he's a repack from the 2000 Comtech collection. He doesn't have the greatest articulation in the world. That said, he is a good-looking Vader. He's got a swivel neck, swivel shoulders, swivel biceps, and swivel hips. No waist articulation, knee or ankle articulation. He doesn't come with a lightsaber, but he does have one in his belt. But to be fair, he didn't use one in the scene either. Here he is. Get a good look at him. The cape's alright. Not bad for being 12 years old. It was actually my second Vader in my current collection. I had him, and I had the one from the Death Star briefing as well. The Death Star briefing one didn't fit in the TIE Fighter, so he's the one I used most. Moving on, I've got the Rebel Fleet Trooper. These are repacks of Power of the Jedi. They've got a very odd leg articulation about them. I've got 2 different face sculpts. Take their helmets off. I've got these stands. These stands don't come with the pack, but these guys can't stand very well because of their legs. Here's one face sculpt. The other one. Put them side by side. The articulation is just awkward for me. They've got, let's see, a swivel neck, swivel shoulders, swivel wrists, swivel calves and knees to make the standing. I know in the movie they were kneeling down to avoid Stormtrooper fire. That's one of the reasons Hasbro did this with their legs. Their legs just swivel back and forth, and when you stand them up, they never quite stand right with me. They've got a typical Rebel blaster. Their vest is removable, and they've got a non-working holster. You can't put their gun in. It's just for show. Their gun's rather flimsy as well. I took this thing out of the package and bent it, so I'm really not a big fan of their guns. And the Stormtroopers are actually the biggest reason I like this pack. In fact, I've gotten several of these packs on eBay. If I can get them under $20, I've used them in the Army build in the past. I know they've come out with several other Stormtroopers since, but I just really like this guy. The way he stands is the main reason I like him. They stand at attention. Their joints are rather tight. He's actually a repaint of the 2006 Saga Collection Stormtrooper. You could actually get earlier versions of this pack where they were dirty. They were actually Sand Troopers. The Saga Collection was actually the one collection that never came with a Stormtrooper. It only had a Sand Trooper. But you can see where the backpack goes in his back. His belt is removable. His holster is non-usable. Those are the only 2 flaws I can find with the Stormtrooper. I'll read off his articulation to you. Let's see. He's got ball-hinged neck, ball-hinged shoulders, ball-hinged elbows, swivel wrists, ball-hinged knees and ankles. Typical E11 blaster. I think when they did Saga Legends, they repacked the wrong Stormtrooper. They should have done this one. He's, in my opinion, much better. I have over 60 of these Stormtroopers, and in my 70-some Stormtroopers I have in all. You usually see them if I do any type of Imperial lineup in the front. Of course, the answer to this battle pack is right here. They have made a much better Vader, Stormtrooper. They've done another Stormtrooper and Rebel Fleet Trooper since. But as I said, this is wonderful packaging. You know, if you just want it for display, or if you agree with me on the stance of the Stormtroopers, it's an excellent army building pack. In fact, they haven't made a good army building pack for the Rebels or Imperials in 5 years. I think it's time to do something like this again with a vintage collection. But anyway, even for an old pack, I'm at least going to give it a solid 8 to 8.25 overall. You know, I just enjoy it. I think you can enjoy it as a collector. If you're starting out, it's a brilliant army builder. One flaw with this whole pack is, you know, I've mentioned before about repacks. Princess Leia from the VOTC collection, they should have repacked Leia with this pack. She would have been appropriate, and, you know, they've released her once in 8 years. I think it would have sold a lot better. A repack of her instead of maybe one of the Rebels, maybe replacing one of them. Otherwise, it's a brilliant pack, and it's definitely on my recommend list if you're giving this 30th anniversary a second look. So I hope you enjoyed this review. This is Supreme signing out, and as always, thank you for tuning in.